What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to Tales on the Go. The last couple of days, we've been focusing on the Green Beret Matthew. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name. And that he was involved in the Tesla truck explosion at Trump Tower. The first video, we talked about Ross Coulthart bringing the manifesto to light. We read that. We talked about that. The second video, we talked about Matthew, the Green Beret, posting something on a 4chan, and we read that whole letter to you, basically to break it down for you. It was about the New Jersey drones, and the drones being part of an AI development program. Basically, think of it as the movie Terminator, right? Skynet's taken over, AI's taken over, just rogue AI just going nuts. It's a very fantastical story. I was not able to corroborate that as being fact. I seriously doubt it is fact. There's some more information coming to light of this Green Beret Matthew. NewsNation just did a video. I'm about a day and a half late on this one because I work. And NewsNation has an interview with Ross Coulthart, and they talk about Matthew, the Green Beret, and apparently he was mentally ill. He was diagnosed with PTSD and some other mental illnesses, and they discuss what they believe is going on with Matthew, and that you should probably take a lot of what he says with some grain of salt. And anyways, instead of me telling you what they're talking about, let's just go directly into it. I'm going to play the whole NewsNation video for you. I will link it in the description down below if you want to check it out for yourself. Let's get to it and let's watch it, you guys. If you guys enjoy what you see here, please subscribe, like the video, share with your friends, all that good stuff. Let's watch the video.
Joining me now is NewsNation special correspondent and investigative journalist Ross Coulthart. Ross, I haven't seen you in the new year. It's only been 5 days. I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for being here with us tonight.
It's a pleasure, Xavier, and as you're saying, the drones mystery still continues. New Jersey police have been reporting that they're still seeing these objects, and despite the government's efforts in mid-December to try and suggest that all of these drones, supposed drones, are lawful, there's even been an incident recently reported where a Gulfstream jet nearly actually collided with a metallic object, possibly one of these drones, at 27,000 feet over Florida. So this is a very serious flight safety issue now, and the government's head in sand attitude on this drones mystery continues.
Ross, it's only 5 days in the new year, and it already feels like it's been 5 weeks, right, with everything that is going on. Really quick, I do want to get your reaction to New Year's Day, right? Domestic terror attack in New Orleans. You know, when you saw that, when you heard about it, what were your initial thoughts?
Well, there's been a spate of very, very unusual things happening, Xavier, that I think have been overlooked in the media. Go right back to when a Boeing satellite blew up in orbit, right back to when there were telecommunications and power cables in Scandinavian waters, clearly sabotaged intentionally by a vessel linked perhaps to China. So there does appear to be a hot, cold war going on behind the scenes. And there is growing concern that the drones that we're seeing over East Coast airspace, including over very many military facilities, might in fact be linked to China. But I haven't seen a shred of evidence for that. And everybody who's been suggesting that it was an Iranian mothership, that it was the Russians, now the Chinese, nobody's put up a shred of evidence to support this contention. The government has been conspicuously quiet. I think that the difference between the public attention that's being directed towards these alleged terror attacks, the New Orleans attack, I think the difference between the incredible amount of focus on that and the fact that we've now had an ongoing presence in our airspace now of mystery objects that are clearly atypical of normal drones, I think the government deserves to give us an explanation. We're in a situation now where these objects are clearly anomalous, and the government is failing to give the public and indeed law enforcement the explanation they seek.
I was going to say, I think most Americans can get on board with the government needing to be more transparent in the very least. Hey, you know, there are some pretty radical claims that were made by Matthew Livelsberger. This was out of Las Vegas, the Green Beret, who killed himself before the Tesla Cybertruck explosion. As part of his alleged manifesto, though, he claims that the drones spotted across the East Coast are coming from China. There's a big chance that these are, commentary from, we have to say this, a mentally ill person. But what can our lawmakers and, leaders alike do to stop conspiracy theorists and rumors online from swirling and spreading before they start?
Okay, very good point here. There's absolutely no evidence from any of my sources that these objects are coming from China. Everybody's telling me that there is no capacity by China to deliver car SUV-sized drones, so-called, over US airspace from supposed submarines off the coast. That's a technical ability that China just doesn't have. The allegations of Livelsberger, as you say, he was clearly a man operating under mental stress. He was suffering from PTSD and a marriage breakup. Everything he says should be taken with a considerable grain of salt. But is it possible that as somebody briefed into a national security secret, he was given an explanation for these supposed drones, i.e. China, which may in fact not be accurate? Is the government telling falsehoods to its own people to try and cover for something perhaps more anomalous in explanation? We just don't know. And I think that the situation that we have at the moment is we have the extraordinary situation where yet again local aldermen, mayors and police from New Jersey are reporting that these mystery objects are still appearing in the sky over New Jersey, New York airspace, and the government conspicuously has failed to make any kind of an announcement since the 17th of December, when it suggested that all of these incursions were supposedly lawful craft of some kind.